So there's this business called Fursodas. Bear with me.
What?
It aims to make gay furry soda. I don't mean gay in like the way that I say it when I'm like, that's lame. I mean like literally like LGBT.
What makes a soda gay?
Okay. I have no idea. These two people.
Where's your shirt?
I just received the following text. You're an adult. Stop it. You're going to end up in jail. I will not bail you out for this. I like imagining that like Blue Wolf's dad is like fucking Hank Hill.
What if Bobby was a furry?
Here.
Honey, bring me my BC headache powder and a glass of water.
We're gonna watch Turkey Tom's video on furries.
Disclaimer,
for some reason.
please do not attack or harass anyone mentioned in this YouTube video. Thank you very much.
Bumbling idiot. Definition: an idiot who is horrible and bumbling. Thank you very much, Urban Dictionary. I feel very educated now.
Definition that used
I'm going woke.
that used the
Tom
word
Dark
in its
Channel
own
is
definition.
officially going woke, especially after this video. What's up, party people? Welcome back to the Tom Dark Show. I am your host, Tom Dark.
Tell us about furries, Tom.
And this is a very special episode, okay? We've got some furry drama to talk about. Not just any furry drama, the Blue Wolf drama. The furry fandom is one of the largest online, with an estimated 1.4
Jesus.
to 1.8 million of them around the world. There have been a lot
That's
of
too many furries.
influencers to take the spotlight, from pretty innocent people like Verplex to downright despicable individuals like Kara the Wolf. Blue Wolf, on the other hand, is one of the most popular furries on Twitter. They've garnered a lot of support from their followers for posting flyers like this, and for posting amazing, inspiring content just like this. And right now, they're getting themselves in a lot of hot water for
Jesus Christ.
withholding thousands of dollars from a small business to then spend the money on, well, a lot of people are speculating on what they're spending the money on. Some people speculate fursuits, some say conventions, and some say scat stuff.
What?
So this will be a fun one.
What
Once
is
upon a
scat
time,
stuff?
very,
I don't want to know.
very
I don't want to know.
controversial
I don't want to
Twitter
know.
account called Valid L's. Don't even try looking for it now. It's been taken down for a while, but this account was very openly anti-trans, making a lot of tweets about anytime a trans person was miserable or done something dumb or been accused of something heinous, they compiled it and said some pretty crazy now and then. They definitely did, and they garnered a lot of followers for it. They were also one of the first big accounts to break the Giggly Goon Clown story, which I covered on my main channel a while ago and was probably one of the most horrific videos I've ever made in my life. So, you know, they definitely did some bad, undoubtedly, you know, probably cheering on people's death is a bad thing, but they also did some good, you know? So, I'm not beating the fence-sitting allegations today. Now, given that Blue Wolf is trans and a furry, and had been gaining a lot of followers at the time for posts like this one, these two people,
Where's your shirt?
and Blue Wolf, were immediately at odds, okay? Opposite ends of the political spectrum. They're bound to collide at some point, and collide they did. So Blue Wolf got the account's attention in a tweet saying a child was
Copper bar,
Valid L's
not
thinks it's
wrong.
funny because they happen to be trans. And once Blue Wolf got their attention, Wolf was being circulated by certain Telegram group chats, which made it a point to dox Blue and mess with them basically. Next target, they said, okay? There's some ops going on. Blue's personal information was officially under scrutiny, and at this point, there wasn't
got
really any reason
doxed.
to believe they'd done something wrong apart from
Sure, the only incentive for Rockstar Plus is if you're
But then
on
Valid L
expanded
starts
and
tweeting out
enhanced.
messages of Blue, allegedly.
I'm sure that there's a lot of
Three
people who
these
pay for
messages
it.
that Valid L's tweeted
Badly,
out,
that's the
says
world we
hi,
live in.
And then this other user, Emmy Chan, says hello. And then Blue asks to role play. Emmy Chan says they're bad at it. Blue asks how old they are. And Emmy Chan says they're 14. So basically, the tweet here is saying, like, oh, look at these DMs. Blue is some kind of groomer, right? And this tweet got 4,000 likes. It was pretty popular. Now, at the time, there was no further confirmation that these were real or fake, but Valid L's followers were pretty quick to take it all as fact. And when people online believe someone is a predator, they tend to take further action.
Yep.
To
The internet's a
proactively
crazy
take
place.
action that you would take against the average influencer. If you hate a YouTuber for being cringe, you might leave a mean comment. If you think that person is a creep, you know, that person might fucking get doxxed. Blue had a tumultuous relationship with their father already, so people reached out to the father with these screenshots. And then we have this text of Blue's father saying, "I just received the following text. You're an adult. Stop it. You're going to end up in jail. I will not bail you out for this." I like imagining that, like, Blue Wolf's dad is like fucking Hank Hill.
But if Bobby was a furry.
Honey, bring me my BC headache powder and a glass of water.
My son is a fucking foul.
He's a fucking furry.
And I mean real work, not writing down gobbledygook.
So Blue was being called a groomer, and Blue needed to respond, right? Which they did, showing that the screenshots being posted by Valid Elves had been fabricated and then posted to slander them. This apparently got Blue cut off from their father because, you know, Blue's dad believed the allegations were true. It's hard to imagine when you're a boomer people with, like, fake screenshots.
Your dad had such faith in you. It's almost like he expected you to do it.
Until they got cut off from their father, they suffered a loss of reputation to a certain extent because a bunch of people now believe that they were a predator. Unfortunately, whether or not you're able to disprove a false allegation, once it's made, there will always be some small number of people who deny the truth.
Because the internet is a place where you are guilty until proven innocent.
They'll just never be informed, and then they'll just continue to believe the false allegation is true.
Yep.
And then you're kind of like, no matter what, this happens. So people began calling for Valid Elves to be deplatformed for the Blue thing, and for a number of other complaints being made. Blue decided to release a video responding to the situation.
Without the head.
Said this.
Over the past 48 hours, I've been doxxed.
I mean, I don't want to sound mean, but Blue, I think you look better with the wolf head on.
It's been an awful situation.
Does that mean?
There's
I mean to
also
say?
a lot of private stuff that happens
I don't care.
that I am not going to get into right now for legal reasons.
I'm not sure what the private stuff was that happened or why it warrants the FBI getting involved, but for the time being, Blue was taken at their word, and given the injustice that had been done to them, I think that's totally fair. You know, they were definitely, for the Valid Elves, definitely slandered them, and that's what's up.
Most of you are probably aware of the situation. If you aren't, though, I'll do a quick little recap here. Basically, an account named Valid Elves made a post on me talking about how I was grooming minors or whatever. It was a fake screenshot. There's tons of proof here.
There we go.
Here. It's been confirmed
Quest
by
done.
the cat itself that they're just doing it to f with me. This led into tons of harassment from them. Just
Upgrade or interact with. Oh, I gotta go upgrade Wolf Waffles Village again.
my reputation, trying to hurt me.
Are you gonna fight back or what, lady?
All this stuff.
And I definitely believe this was happening. For some reason, Valid Elves were so hell-bent on taking them down that they were willing to post fake screenshots. And when you believe that someone belongs to one of the most depraved groups of people out there, files, right? People are willing to
people
go
will
to
do
the
crazy
extra
shit.
mile to make sure you get what's coming to you. Of course, in this case, Blue was innocent of these particular allegations.
Everybody wants to be the next Chris Hansen, baby.
And I want to talk about trolling and trolls and just harassment in general. Well, of course, these type of people are just bullies.
What do you mean, these type of people?
They don't care, and they can't be canceled, and they're going to keep doing this no matter what, because they're truly terrible people. At the end of the day, what we need to do is ignore these people until they cross a line, until they start doxing someone or harassing them, because that's a crime. And they can go to
Nope.
prison for that.
It is not a crime to dox someone.
Video where the trouble begins. It's a common misconception that doxing is a crime. It's
Oh,
not.
good. Tom is
There's nothing
informed.
illegal
He's
about
gonna.
finding
Yeah.
someone's personal information,
There's nothing
their
illegal about
address,
doxing.
phone number, and posting it online. Like, that's technically not illegal. Is it wrong to do it to an innocent person? Of course. And you should never do that. You should respect people's anonymity if that's what they want. What is illegal is if you take that dox and then, like, harass them in person or call a SWAT
Yes,
team
that's
on
called
them,
stalking.
or
That's
something
when it
like
becomes
that.
illegal.
And it is
The
also
information
fine to
itself
take
is
that
fine.
dox
It's what you
and
do
post
with
it,
said
like, hey,
information.
go do this illegal thing to this person with this information I'm giving out, right? That is illegal. But doxing itself, just the process of gathering publicly available info, is
not illegal.
That's why websites that host doxes are able to operate on the internet without being taken down by law enforcement. Technically, sending someone a mean message also is not illegal, and it's protected by the First Amendment. And
free
laws
speech.
like this are why someone like Sniper Wolf was not held legally liable for posting an image of Jack Storm's home on her Instagram.
Now, if
story.
she goes to
didn't
his home and
actually have
trespasses
that
or stalks him,
information.
she's
She
committed a
probably
crime. But
just
just
did
showing a
that.
picture of
That
his
being said,
house
platforms like Twitter and
in and
YouTube
of
have
itself,
explicit rules
not a
against
crime.
doxing. And if someone posts your personal
Not a crime.
information on one of those sites,
I
you have
overshot
every
it by
right
a
to
long
report
ways.
them and probably get their account taken down if they're doing that to you.
Actually,
Which begs
no,
the
I was
question
going to
of where
Waffles'
go
house.
from here. right? At the time, a lot of people were reporting Valadel's Twitter account, but it wasn't being taken down. So Blue had a few options. The first option is to deal with the misinformation, to try to combat the misinfo posted about them, and report anyone doing anything actually illegal to law enforcement, and then move on. Ultimately, Valadel's likes the attention they were getting.
Got
from
the
this,
knot
and,
route. 15
whoever was
planks,
running that account
more
didn't really
granite.
care about the reputational hit from posting misinformation, and neither did the audience. So as a result, blocking them would probably be a good move. Blocking Valadel's and just trying to like off would probably be a good move. Now, option 2. What's behind door number 2 right here, okay? What's
Having fun with that green screen, Tom?
You could continue to play into the drama and give Valadel's attention, furthering it, and ultimately causing them and their family to receive even more harassment. Now, there is a third door. There is a third mysterious door here, and that third door is to file a lawsuit. Blue decided to take doors 2 and 3 at the same time, and they paid the price for it. On April 25th, Blue tweeted asking if they should take Valadel's to court. She got a lot of support from people in the replies who seemed to think that she had a strong case for defamation. Oh, of course.
Oh, God.
Honestly, this would be a gold mine.
The
to
frames.
How many people they would have hurt, and how liable Twitter and Valadel's could be for what these people have done. So they're saying Twitter is liable somehow for what Valadel's has done, which is just not the case. Twitter is protected against this kind of stuff by law. What is posted on their site is not their fault. So
Yep.
you're going to be owned there. That's not really going to happen.
That's not gonna work either, son.
Valadel's can be held accountable. And you can see Blue here said, if I decide to go through with it, this will be for everyone they've hurt. Okay, this is a selfless action.
But you won't win.
Do it not just for yourself.
You have no
but every
case.
person they've ever attacked and ever will attack. They tried to make you look like a felon. Lying about assault and stuff is nothing compared to this. Definitely, defamation is a punishable offense. And you know what? In a literal sense, Blue was actually defamed.
Go
by
wait out the
Valadel's.
storm.
The owner of that account seemingly, knowingly posted false info about them to harm their reputation. It seems in your mind like a slam dunk case, but part of the problem is that nobody knew who was running this account. And to sue someone, you need to know who they are. Like,
Yep.
you need to know who the f you're suing.
You can't sue Twitter. That'd be suicide.
By intentionally posting false identities, which detractors would then post to be like, we got him, boys, we found his docs. And then Valadel's was able to dunk on them by being like, no, that's actually not me. You got owned, you know, you're trolled. You got trolled.
You know what? Maybe I too could be ninja. I want to be ninja.
So bottom line, Blue would need to hire a private
Maybe I too could be
investigator to figure
ninja.
out who this guy or girl is. They would need to prove damages, financial or otherwise, you know, reputational stuff. And if you want to sue someone for defamation, you'll probably be asked for a retainer from the lawyer of around $7,000 to $10,000.
Yep.
And on top
It
of
is
that,
not
a
cheap
good
to sue
lawyer may
somebody.
charge $250 to $350 per hour
Hour.
for the work they put into your
Yeah.
case. It's not cheap stuff, and apparently it's not money that Blue really had since they were living with their parents. To sue someone for a tweet they make, you really got to have a lot of money in the bank, and you got to have a good reason.
Yep,
that.
and
It's
you gotta
not
have a
up to
pretty
me
good
if
case
suing
or you're
someone over a
wasting that
tweet is
money.
worth it. It might be, honestly,
It's
if what
not.
they say is super slanderous and gets a bunch of attention. You know, I could see a scenario in which if somebody slandered me, I might be inclined to be like, this guy, you're going to court. Right?
I understand
But
that
in the United States,
instinct, but
proving
it's not the way it
defamation
works.
is extremely difficult, and court can be a lengthy,
close to
long,
impossible
and-ass
levels of
process, and
difficult.
it's very expensive. This did not really bother Blue Wolf, at least at the time. On May 10th, Blue posted a short video to Twitter saying that they were filing a lawsuit and that they had started a GoFundMe to help pay for legal fees. Out of 292 donations, it managed to raise more than $8,000, which is no small feat when it comes to a GoFundMe. And the description for the GoFundMe reads as follows. Valadel's is a large Twitter account and online community that doxes and harasses trans people, getting them swatted, mocked, abused, hurt, and is nothing but a game to them. They recently targeted me in an online campaign in an attempt to get more attention by posting fake screenshots, calling me a file, etc., etc., which led to screenshots getting sent to my father, nonstop harassment for days on end, and even worse. They've done this for many trans people, and I'm taking matters into my own hands, since Twitter nor Telegram will do anything to end this insanity. The legal fees will be costly, but I have friends and people in my life, like you guys.
Oh, you
that
can't
will
jump on the
hopefully
door
help me
anymore?
afford this. That's why I'm starting this GoFundMe. For example, of the cost, it will be around $1 to $3K just for an attorney to review the case alone, possibly
Yep.
$25K or more in total. The goal
Yep.
for this case
Definitely
is to take
more.
the moral high ground and make some terrible people have real-world consequences for their horrible actions online.
Good luck
There
with
most
that.
likely won't be any monetary gain from this case. However, if the judge rules the other party must pay legal fees, the funds will be donated to charity. That's all well and good, but they ended up raising $8,000, as I said, and $8,000 is not enough to take this person to court. And once again, given none of the LGBT sleuths out there had managed to find the identity of valid L's at this point, it's unlikely some 50-year-old personal investigator is going to have an easier time of figuring out who it is, right? It's possible to subpoena Twitter to find out the person's identity, right? You can.
Yeah, but that's a hard subpoena to get.
You know, basically be like, hey, here's my.
You gotta have a damn good reason for that.
If a U.S. court tells
and
Twitter
I got trolled on the internet, ain't
identity,
one.
then you know Twitter is going to be like, okay, here's who the f they are, right? But that opens up a whole other rabbit hole, okay? Because first of all, don't know who this person is, so they got to figure that out, and that opens up the John Doe lawsuit rabbit hole. I'm going to be getting,
Wood and a
getting a
torch.
little bit gay and nerdy right now because
all right, back to my house.
Law stuff recently, so I'm going to posture like I know a lot more than I do, but you know I've done enough research to make it interesting. Basically, in the age of the internet, okay, in the modern times, you don't always know who is defaming you. They could be using an anonymous account. If you file a complaint and then get a subpoena, you can potentially unmask them. But as Buckingham Law's website reads, there can be various issues there as well. There are numerous hurdles that can pop up during the process of trying to identify an anonymous profile. Throughout this process, both the platform and the ISP will put the person on notice of your action. In addition, several jurisdictions require that you make some attempt to put the person.
And that's assuming they're not using a VPN or something to mask their identity before signing up for said service you're trying to get from them.
At
Yeah,
any point in this process,
it's just
the defendant can appear and anonymously attempt to quash your subpoena.
It's
or
really
prevent
hard
you
to
from
pull off.
proceeding in your attempts to unmask them. If you have followed these steps properly and have solid grounds for your claims, you should be able to overcome these challenges, but they can cause delays and increased costs along the way. Now, Blue had publicized their intentions to take this all to court and raise money, but in doing so, they illuminated valid L's to their every move, meaning they could take steps to prevent their identity from being revealed. And it's possible that in the first place, this person is in Russia and is using a VPN or something to access Twitter. Like, we have no idea who the valid L's is. They could be in Malaysia. It could be Ian Miles Chung, okay? They could just delete their account and hide if this happens and make it harder for Blue to get their information and sue them for
Wooden
defamation.
vines. Oh
Speaking
wait, I
of
have
defamation,
torches.
let's get into that, okay? Let's talk about that. Other countries like England are notorious for their
I need wood.
laws around defamation. Take, for example, when YouTuber Kavos showed a lot of circumstantial proof that Deji was subbotting his subscribers. Deji, or Comedy Shorts Gamer here,
you're honestly an idiot, you're an imbecile,
was then able to silence him due to the extremely low bar to prove defamation.
Something about insults in a British accent just
But
make them
in the
funnier.
United States, we have a much higher standard. What Deji did in the UK by intimidating Kavos probably never would have happened in the US due to the presence of anti-slap laws, which prevent people from filing meritless lawsuits that are designed to intimidate.
Good on you, Tom. You did your
Basically,
homework.
The reason I'm saying all this is because it's much more difficult in the US to take someone to court for defamation and just bleed their bank account dry just because you have money. And on top of that, it's much harder.
Yeah, it's almost impossible, especially if they're an online person or a public figure. And if you make YouTube videos and you're posting stuff on the internet, that's all public. Yeah.
It's kind of okay, but a lot of the time in the court, if you're suing an individual, you're gonna have to have a lot to prove that they're trying to defame you. I mean, like the anti-slap laws, for example, right? This protects journalists from being sued into oblivion when they expose powerful people. But with that, the bar required to prove defamation is very high. There are 5 pillars of defamation that you need to meet
almost impossible
before you file a lawsuit to think about, like, can I even file this, right? Is this even worth it? So the first standard here is publication. You have to prove that the information was published in the public eye. If you message someone something false about another person, if you say it, you know, in like a text message or in a store,
nope, still got a crash.
It's not defamation. If you put it in an article or
back to my
on a
house.
public social media site, that can be defamation if you meet the other pillars. Valid L's did publish this on a public site.
Other pillars, like you have to meet them all, not 2 out of 3, all of them, and that's what makes it so hard.
Caption this screenshot that maybe because their account is parody or satire, that they actually can get away with it, right?
Yep.
Because if you actually look at the tweet, they didn't say Blue Fault was a groomer.
Yep, they have to call you out by name too. It has to be intentional. The intention part is what's important for defamation.
There's a lot of arguments they could make in court to try and
be
like, oh,
it'd be easy to argue your way out of that.
I didn't do anything wrong. Your Honor, I was merely trolling. 2, identification. The person you're suing needs to have identified you. As KDP law states,
they have to state you by name.
All Hollywood actors have probably cheated on their partners is not defamation. If you're a based right-wing schizo and you want to call everyone in the White House a Jeffrey Epstein disciple, you can technically do that.
Yep,
in
you
the
can
case
do
of
that.
Blue, they were clearly identified by valid L's from the screenshots. You know, you can see their username and then profile picture, so you could probably make the argument that, you know what, this is identification, right? So we can probably check off those boxes.
level.
Okay, this one, put it in Blue's court, okay? They're owning, okay? They're destroying. 3, reputational impact.
Craft a small
You need
one.
to be able to prove that whatever was published
3
had a
silk,
negative
3
effect on the
bone,
person
3
in question.
wolf,
If you
5
want to
wolf
say
claws.
that I, for example, Tom, Zim, eat for breakfast instead of drinking piss for breakfast, that's not really illegal in most cases because it's unlikely to have a serious harm to my reputation. Everyone already knows that I do both. Yeah! But if the false information is related to something serious and has a serious effect
not
on
have any
that
more
person's
silk?
life, then it may be defamation. Like if it's
Get more
information that
silk.
could cause their friendships to be ruined or cause them to lose their job. And online harassment is actually covered under this as well, interestingly enough. Like, because, you know, in the age of the internet, as I said before, the law has adapted to understand these issues. If the public becomes aware of a statement made about an individual, they may begin to behave inappropriately to that person through threats, acts of physical violence, or through other means. One of the most common types of retaliation
All right, I guess
after
we gotta go kill
defamation
some
is via
spiders.
online channels such as social media. So the fourth pillar, if you will, is the requirement that the information that was published is actually false. I think we all know what this means, and
Yep.
yeah, the screenshot was fake, so the information was false. Number 5, the big number 5, the person you are suing is at fault. You have to prove that
Yep,
the
you have to
person in
prove
question
they
spread
did
this
it.
information either on purpose,
That they're the
or
source
with
of the
reckless disregard
information.
for what the truth may be, right? An individual who offers a television
That's the
interview
hard
who was
part.
later misquoted may not be liable for defamation. This
Nope.
brings us to the topic of actual malice. If the person being defamed is a public figure, then the person being defamed has to prove in court that the defamer, or whatever the defendant in this case, did it with either the knowledge the information was false, or they did it regardless of what the truth may have been. Like if they were told, hey man, don't publish this information, and they did it anyway, then they could be right. But this one is pretty tough to prove. Like you can already
Yep,
imagine
that's the part that
millions
makes it
and
almost
millions of
impossible.
possibilities that could come from this. For example, did Valadels actually make a statement? Well, you could argue no. You could say they just posted a screenshot. Maybe the screenshot wasn't made by him. Maybe he didn't know it was false.
Yeah,
Maybe
you can't.
he
You would have to prove the origin of the screenshot and that it came from him. That he didn't find it somewhere
Right.
else.
You could
That's
make
the
a
hard
case
part.
that, hey, I just post screenshots. I didn't have any intention with it. This is a very, very important thing.
That was
to
just
prove.
memeing. It was satire. Yeah, there's a lot of ways out of
Actual
that.
malice
You've got
is
no
a
case.
situation where a statement was made that was not only false, but that it was made recklessly or maliciously. For example, you knew or should have known, you should have investigated to see if that statement was true. But you didn't. And because you didn't investigate to see if it was true and it turns out it was false, you got a problem, because that public figure, who normally wouldn't be able to sue you for making an untrue statement, now has a green light to do it, because you acted with a reckless
Yep.
disregard of your duties to make sure that statement was true before publishing it.
All right. I'm sorry. Boring, I know. Lawyer Tom is over for now. But Valadels obviously
I like
saw
Lawyer
the movement
Tom.
to sue them and decided to make a
I
Twitter
don't
thread
find the law
basically
stuff
outlining
boring.
their issues with the
I like
lawsuit.
knowing my rights and how to
Valadels
not
thought
get
that,
fucked over in a court of
Blue
law.
was gonna get away with scam,
Almost obsessively so.
according to them. Okay.
According to my wife.
Allegations, bitch. Wow, 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 wow. Allegations, bitch. Allegations, bitch. I'm alleging your mom sucked my dick last night. She loved the mushroom tip.
Ugh.
Base, dude.
How did you get my keys? Last night, me and my mates went to the pub. Got us a few pints. Turns out, one of the girls I shagged happened to be your mum.
Based. Valadels writes, it is 100% a scam. Why? 1. He didn't even consult or contact a lawyer beforehand, a big lull if he only listened to his friends online, if the case is even possible, and the estimated cost, hence why. 2. He isn't even aware how much a defamation case would cost him, even if considering his chance at winning. His so far $7,000 is just a fraction of what could be the total cost, and I don't think a kid who just lost his only income from dad's financial support is able to pay the lawyer long enough. 3. He set the GoFundMe donation goal to $1. Why? GoFundMe lets you withdraw as soon as the donation goal has been hit, so he'll use that to withdraw the money ASAP. He promised to refund all of it back to everyone, but not sure how that will happen now after it's been withdrawn. Big Lamau for the donators. Blue only has 3 options now. 1. Refund all of it back. 2. Find a lawyer and
After
actually
equip
use
the
the
short
money on that.
sword.
3. Run away with the money and instead
I'll
get
give it to my
fursuits, sex toys,
teammate.
and tickets to furry cons, but that would be fraud. Sad emoticon face, okay? Valadels is hitting Blue Falk with the sad
Oh, it just says
emoticon
craft or
face.
equip one. I'm pretty
It's
sure
a
I already
dark
got one.
day. It truly is a dark day. As much as they hate to say it, okay? As much as they hate to say it, those in the rap game, those in the streets may not like to say it. Your boy was mostly spitting facts here, okay? He was mostly goated with the sauce, and he couldn't be stopped.
Here's your question. Spell red.
L-S-T-E-R.
Now, I disagree with the characterization that this lawsuit was a scam, or the idea that Blue was like necessarily going to scam their fans, right? I don't think that was ever Blue's intention, from my perspective, because Blue clearly did intend, in my mind, to sue Valid L's and win for all the people that they perceived were wrong by Valid L's, right? I don't think that
frame
Blue
rate.
ever intended to like run away with the fucking money. In this case, more on that later. But you need a lot more than like $7 or $8 grand to carry through a defamation lawsuit. You need to consult a lawyer first to see if you have a case, on top of the 100 other issues that there are with this, which is why this post is mostly correct, apart from the ultimate conclusion, which I disagree with. The actual points are like, you know, Mr. Beast mode, I guess you would say, right? Despite everything. Despite everything. Despite it all. Despite it all. Around the same time, people noticed that Blue was apparently chilling with their friends in the pool, basically on vacation, just vibing the hell out. For someone with not a lot of money who is raising money for a lawsuit, they weren't being very financially responsible, now were they? And with all these problems, it began to dawn on Blue that they would not be getting the epic own in court that they thought they would be when they started this whole thing.
Oh, this can't be a real screen cap from a game.
I'm not strong enough to handle the Valid L's lawsuit, so I'm canceling it. It's too much pressure and it wasn't a good idea. I'm sorry for letting you all down. I only wanted justice to be served. Refunds should be issued within 3 to 5 days. Personal message me if you don't receive it. I know I'm gonna get so much for this, but I just want it to be over. I can't handle it, so I'm locking my account for a bit. I was serious about this the whole time, but now when how big it's gotten, it's just become a disaster.
He covered his tracks. He got that idiot at the copy shop to lie.
Better Call Saul!
Please, you don't have to. You think this is something? You think this is bad? This chicanery?
It's chicanery.
Sorry, chat. Had to go to Zimbabwe real quick with all this furry trans drama. It's making me cranky.
And the Papa said the Cheeto in real quick for that one.
Now, with all this, I think it's pretty clear that Blue is not a groomer, just a gooner with no understanding of the legal system and,
at all. Yeah, no, that's
money.
it.
Not a groomer.
A gooner.
The Valid L's Twitter account was eventually suspended permanently in November of 2023.
Like marble in a cave.
We haven't heard anything from them since. All the lawsuit money was
back to the
refunded.
cave.
Blue walked away pretty unscathed and was able to go back to their regularly scheduled programming right here, which is freaking awesome. Yes, I love it. They even said they were done with drama. No more drama. The drama era is over.
Everyone that says that ends up in drama again.
Sam came along. Ruben is a Roblox YouTuber who's been responsible for exposing some
Oh no, Roblox is in the mix.
You may also remember him from when Roblox attempted to sue him for $1.6 million.
Jesus.
They eventually dropped the lawsuit when he started making their moderation look so terrible for being unwilling to ban multiple degenerates.
It is
from the
pretty
site.
terrible.
They thought the bad press, if they continued with the lawsuit from his channel, would be so f***ing bad that they were just like, okay, we're done with this. Just like pay us legal fees or something.
Why am I the one being sued for off-platform behavior when I've made videos on this very channel criticizing Roblox for doing next to nothing when child predators groom their users over Discord?
That's why my kids don't play Roblox.
Professional Developers was featured in a People Make Games video, sexting a 12-year-old girl while he was 24.
Ruben published a tongue-in-cheek video in April of 2024 titled, "Which type of Roblox player are you?" One type of user he describes as furries, whose varying degrees of adult content addiction can lead to some very weird results.
I like to think of the furry community as a big iceberg. At the very top, you have the 5% that are normal.
That's what Icy says he is. The rest of them.
Habits amount to zoophilia. This is because, in their mind, if an animal has human-like features and human intelligence, there's nothing wrong with wanting to f*** it.
This graphic right here is what got him into some major trouble. While describing zoophiles, he shows Blue Falk. He also shows Lemonade Coyote, known in real life as Timothy C. McCormick. Tim was a member of the Indianapolis EMS and unfortunately died when a Honda hit his ambulance. These two names were placed next to Hypnotist Sappho, who we've covered on this channel and my main channel before, and I think this clip will say it all.
For the record, I am a zoophile.
Zoophile.
You did not mishear that. I am a zoophile.
The fuck is a zoophile?
I do not have a thing for humans. I am more attracted to dogs.
Oh, bestiality! Wow, you guys made a new word for it so it doesn't sound so bad.
Willing to stay and listen to my views.
Oh!
No.
Yeah, no.
I'm not. I don't think many of us are. We're not gonna stick around for review. And you posted this on 9/11? Oh my god. This
The
video is
village
36
square in the
minutes
Dry
long.
Valley
I
desert
don't
biome.
have a ton of confidence that in 36 minutes you're gonna say anything that makes anyone go, "Yeah, you know what? You're right." It's totally fine.
He
No
also
one's
used
gonna
an
do
image
that.
of Lumen City, the furry that followed me around like a federal agent when I tried to interview furries in Boston and had a
Wood
metal
and granite.
breakdown. So that was freaking awesome. You're recording us. But Blue Wolf was
Get it!
because I mean their name was next to this, you know, freak hypnotist Sappho. Ruben Sim called me a zoophile for being a furry in his latest video. You, dude. And this tweet got a bunch of likes. People began calling him out, saying he assumes everyone who's a furry is a degenerate menace to society. Some of these people, a very small minority, of course, but some of these people posted his personal information, claiming they'd be swatting him soon. Others claimed that Ruben's followers are messaging them Gore and CP. Ruben Sim begins trending on Twitter for all the wrong reasons, while Blue Wolf calls for his deplatforming and manages to get YouTube's attention, actually. Team YouTube is like,
We'll be looking into this really soon, Blue Wolf. We'll be looking deep into this issue. It's our top priority. We've got a whole team of Pakistani interns on it.
And Blue Wolf similarly claims to be receiving the same vicious treatment from Ruben's Twitter followers. They claim Ruben's fans are trying to take down their Twitter account. Some of them also called me out because apparently I posted this picture that I guess Ruben made. I don't know if the problem is that he made it or that it's AI generated. It's like this minion picture. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry I posted the minion, dude. I'm sorry, guys. Just leave me alone, okay? Look, I had a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, okay? I'm an innocent baby. I'm just a baby. I'm just a baby. I don't know what I was doing. I'm doing my binky. I need my binky.
Oh my God, please stop.
I'm a minor. Please don't respond. I'm a minor. You see my face? I'm 9 years old and I'm a minor. So you better leave me the fuck alone, Buster. Hey, you. Hey, you right there. I'm 9 years old. Hey, you. Did you know that I'm 9 years old? Hey. I'm 9 years old. And around the same time when a child was killed in a standoff with police officers.
Yeah, the zoophile stuff is
somehow responsible.
What the fuck?
Because this kid liked his videos. I don't know. Meanwhile, Ruben accuses one of his biggest detractors of being a zoophile himself. So there's all this shit going on, right? This is like a huge drama. The entire thing is a fucking mess. But Blue positioned themselves as being at the head of the anti-Ruben movement. As of now, Ruben has yet to be deplatformed, but the powers that be are still warring. Okay, they're going after each other. But a byproduct of this is that Blue Wolf was re-entered into the drama sphere, okay? So people were paying attention. They were like putting their little magnifying glasses like the Penguin from Batman or whatever, okay? They were looking deeply into Blue Wolf. There was an increased level of scrutiny. People wanted to know if there was anything weird going on behind the scenes with them, given how hard they were going after Ruben. And there was, but it's probably not what you expected. Or maybe it is. It involves money. So there's this business called Fursodas. Bear with me.
What?
It aims to make gay furry soda. I don't mean gay in like the way that I say it when I'm like, that's lame. I mean like literally like LGBT.
What makes a soda gay?
Okay. I have no idea who would buy this when Coca-Cola probably has all the delicious microplastic nutrients you could possibly.
Coca-Cola's already gay.
I don't have a problem with it, okay? I think it's based. But you know what? Maybe some people want this thing, okay? Maybe some people want this bottle of soda, which is $90. For that price, you get one bottle of soda, one mascot that they'll draw for you, and a sticker. A sticker.
What
That's
the
worth
fuck?
It, right? I mean, that seems cool, right? $90? That's... Come on. I wipe my ass with that, guys. Oh, and don't forget a handwritten note. But never fear, okay, if you're not a $90 brokey, okay, if you've got some real money to spare, then for the upgraded price of $195, you personally will receive custom artwork of your fursona on the bottle itself, 3 stickers of your custom artwork, a digital file of your custom artwork, and another sticker. And a handwritten note.
So you get a JPEG.
Stuff. From the start, I think this is a terrible business idea because it's got a very limited appeal. I mean, this is basically only made for furries, so already the amount of people that would want it is a small percentage of the general population. And on top of that, then it's like gay furries, which is like even smaller. Actually, is it? For some reason in my mind, there are more LGBT furries than just like furries themselves. I don't really know how that works.
They're just the loudest of the
and
group,
on top
Tom.
of that, no matter how much money they spend on a fursuit, I think the average furry would not want to dump money into an $100 bottle of soda with some stickers unless they really like want to help this person and they're like a personal friend or whatever. But any good businessman will know that you might need some money to get things going, some startup, okay? Some dogs in suits if you want to put the money down and get your business started. After visiting the furry Shark Tank, Fursodas walked away with the most brilliant investor you could possibly ask for, Blue Wolf themselves. One of the most popular popular people in the furry community. You've got a dumb business idea and someone who doesn't know to talk to a lawyer before starting a GoFundMe for a lawsuit. So what could go wrong? Frankly, I'm shocked that anything did go wrong. I mean, that seems shocking to me.
It's a foolproof plan.
From the time, we can see a pretty funny series of events.
Foolproof, I tell you.
And now we get to read them. This is like the troll. This is like the troll dance. We call this the troll
You can be
dance
ninja too.
In the business of gay soda, we call this the troll dance. It's 10:30 p.m. and I am all alone. I think we do need to discuss your
me too, Tom.
how you see yourself.
Me too.
Right now, I'll admit it's a little bit frustrating how things currently stand. It's frustrating to essentially be running
drink.
a business by myself.
I'm gonna get me a straight soda
by you and have
instead of a gay one.
you that I never get told about or that get brought up to me. Not to mention, I barely get recognized as being one of the owners of the company, despite running the entire thing. It's very hard to get answers from you about things. And sometimes a lot of these decisions I can't wait every few days to talk about. Half the time you don't even really acknowledge some of the
Look at
things
my
I have to
Fursona.
say. I know that could be from work or school or anything else, but it isn't easy to run a business as a partnership without the ability to communicate. On top of that, it's really difficult to get you to help with the simpler and smaller things that need to be done. Like just linking me to artists that you mentioned reached out to you, or retweeting and promoting the company. Even just asking for help getting supplies and stuff is difficult. And if we're going to succeed, then I need you to help me do those specific things. I think what adds to that frustration is that I know you can do some of these things. You're on Twitter pretty often, and from what I understand, you're in the process of buying a fursuit. So I know you can help me with supplies, and I know you can promote more than you do. It's just upsetting that for some reason you're not. I definitely don't know your financial situation, and I'm in no way entitled to your spending habits and decisions, but I do feel like it's a bit unfair to be investing in a fursuit while your business partner is actively funding the business out of their own pocket. You know, these seem to be very valid concerns. Why would you be buying a fursuit when you're not contributing the proper funds to this business,
That's a
which
good
you
point.
promise to be helping out? Blue doesn't seem to be the most forward-thinking person here, which could be excused if
my
they're
wood.
the only one being affected by this. But in this case, there's a business owner, however bad the business may be, who is owed money that's not being paid as they were promised. I can't imagine a lot of people are buying these $200 bottles.
Hydrate. Yeah, I said I'm going to get something to drink after this video.
Easy to get into debt when you're funding a business like
I don't want to be Hassan and just walk away from a video while it's playing.
But eventually the owner felt
We're here to react to it, not leave it playing.
their losses.
On May 7th of 2024, the owner of the business came out explaining their experience with Blue Wolf.
Around December of 2022, I had started working with Blue Wolf about a company they were trying to start up. I originally planned to do this alone, and we both had no idea. The plan for this venture to start up officially with a 3-year business plan that included the path to getting a physical location, as well as having sex with Joe Rogan.
Sorry, the Joe Rogan part was dramatic effect.
Unfortunately, Blue started advertising, doing raffles, bringing in team members and a task force to spearhead the project, way ahead of its reasonably projected start date. There was no way to keep up. Due to all of it being extremely public, I had to try and keep up with everything. For the entire 9 months or so that Blue and I worked together, I was stuck doing every single thing regarding the business and paying Blue's portion of the expenses because she wasn't able to. It's notable she was going to many cons during that time, leaving me to pay her side of things until eventually, in September 2023, I told her she was being ousted from the company. Unfortunately, it left me with an $8K debt from having to charge her expenses on a business card for almost a year. Around September 2023, I started to receive a lot of targeted harassment. I was working on Fursodas and was primarily
With a
handling all the
compass,
business
trinket,
things
or
on my
other
own.
charm?
For the most part, she was completely uninvolved with the company.
Let's go back to
September
the house
2023, she got into a bunch of trouble. She was the target of a massive anti-trans campaign, and because she associated herself with Fursodas, I was thrown into the mix. They targeted me, my family, my job, my clients, everything. I had people creating false police reports against me and making fake emails to make it look like I was going to harm people. They had my face and address posted online in multiple locations, and my phone number was leaked. Everything was really bad around that time.
And messages were leaked from their interactions on Telegram because, of course,
Yeah.
they use Telegram. And we don't even have to guess if this is real or not, by the way, because Blue confirmed it to be true and real on Twitter. And what's even worse is for some reason, they never thought to try and sort this out behind the scenes to fix it.
Nope,
Instead,
just make
they
it
had
public
been quiet
immediately,
about it
right?
and not really communicated anything until the public call out was made. Here is Blue messaging someone asking, hey, how is Fursodas going? They say, hey, it's going great, but I'm having a hard time paying off that debt you put me in. Then they follow up saying, hey, we really got to talk about that debt. No response. So they draft up a nice big response saying, hey, Blue, what the Sigma is going on right now?
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. You've got to start helping me work
You've
down
got
the debt
no
for
rears.
Fursodas. I'm still over $6,000 on the credit card. and I had to max it out because I was covering your side of things. That means despite making all payments on time, the charged interest costs more than what I'm paying.
Yep.
When we started all this, you
Welcome to the
charged
wonderful
more
world of
to set
credit.
things up, gathering people for a team, making a raffle.
Started Fallout 4, going for a bad girl edition.
Growing at a natural pace. Then you
Picks or it didn't happen.
to uphold our agreement of paying half of the
Bad girls
expenses.
are the best
You
girls.
paid $200 once out of $8,000 that entire
God
year.
damn.
You paid $200 of that. Right now, maxing out this credit card has ruined my credit, made it so every penny of profit I make off my own personal jobs has to go to the minimum payments, preventing.
And the minimum payments only cover interest, so you're making no progress.
Business grow and
Fuck,
even
man.
getting supplies for patrons. At this point, you have got to start helping me pay this off. Your half of the expenses over a year was $4K, 4,000 big juicy bones. You need to find some way to pay that. If you can't or choose not to, I don't really want to go public with all this or take legal action, but I'm going to have to do so. I'm going.
And unlike you, he might actually have a case.
Sorry, it just took.
Especially if he kept the receipts.
I can't survive. My family cannot survive. But we're having to pay all this off. Blue responds with a voice message, which we don't have, and then the owner responds being like, yeah, I know in the past you said you would pay for it, but then you don't actually ever send me any fucking money. They respond again a bit later saying, yo, what's up? And on May 4th, 2024, they're like, hey, bro, where's that money? To no response from Blue. And so eventually, they had to go public with it. And Blue is being absolutely cooked on Twitter by fellow furries for this.
Good.
It shouldn't have to come down to a call-out.
Wait, what's getting cooked by a furry look like?
It feels like you're trying to protect your image more
It's
than
gotta be the
anything.
worst shit talking on the
I
planet.
take full responsibility for this. It's my
Yeah,
fault.
it is.
I
Okay.
got massive weight, and it's not like me at all. I didn't mean for any of the things that happened to happen. I just want to help Kwasi now.
This man
I
has
know.
no
I feel so
balls.
terrible for them. And
This man has no dick.
And this is a really easy thing to say now that the public pressure is
Ghostbusters?
But this person has
Ghostbuster?
avoided paying this debt to this person for months, and it has left the owner in a pretty dire situation. So Blue managed to send them $400, which they say is all the money they have in the bank right now. I know having a big following doesn't always translate into a big bank account, okay? But for someone with over 100,000
it should
followers,
translate to
a clothing
something.
store, and a following that's willing to regularly commission furry
Yeah.
artwork, fursuits,
It's gotta equal more than you being
dollars
broke,
traveling
dude.
to conventions.
That,
You would think
I'm not buying
Blue
that for a
Wolf would be able to,
minute.
like, reap the rewards of their fan base a little more. You think they'd be
Yeah,
able
they should.
to scrounge some money up. I don't know exactly how they spend their money, but they're clearly not that financially responsible.
compass
or
or trinket.
a very
Okay.
internet-savvy person.
Compass?
They have this big of a following and only
Equip.
$400 to their name. I don't know what they're
Build
doing.
a vehicle
And now their
or
followers are
drive
keeping them alive,
one.
calling them out for leaving a disabled
Wait, we can
creator.
drive
in
one.
debt.
I think I have
They're
one now.
unfollowing en masse, having already lost a few thousand followers from this whole situation. The fact that it took a call-out post for you to pay back your friend after you put them in $6,000 in debt, while you kept buying luxuries for yourself, you genuinely. You're only paying the
fuck
money
you.
back to try and protect your popularity, which is true. They left them on red for days, avoiding the situation. I have a hard time believing Blue has a super busy schedule or something like that. I think they should be able to message this person when they need help for, you know, something they owe them in the first place, right? And it's not like a situation where it's ambiguous and it's
There it
not
is.
communicated. Like, this person messages them like 10 times, like, yo, where the fuck's the money at? I offer you nothing. You get $8,000 in debt and a destroyed credit score. Deal? And past this point, maybe, you know, focus on posting to your YouTube channel.
Eat
Blue, if
snowberries
you're
to
watching this
gain
right now,
heat
I know you're a
resistance?
Big fan, to make
Okay.
some money so you can pay people what you promised them and probably stop spending so much money on wherever your money is going. It's clear to me that Blue Wolf isn't like a terrible person. They've got some weird fetishes and, you know, they're a furry, so, what the cringe? But at the end of the day, they're not like an evil person. More like a bumbling.
Oh my God.
Constantly fumbling around, seemingly trying to do the right thing, and then not taking responsibility when they do something wrong until the greater public screams at them to change or do something. But they're not going anywhere anytime soon. I have a feeling this isn't the last we'll see of Blue Wolf. They're a big public figure, one of the most popular furries right now, in fact, and they seem to have a new drama every few months or so. And when that happens,
But they were done with
I
drama.
will be here to pick the bones like a vulture and make a video about it while trying to be funny. Subscribe to Tom Dark for more commentary videos. Subscribe to Tom Dark Live for stream clips. Subscribe to Turkey Tom for more commentary, video, documentary, essay things. And subscribe to Tom IRL for videos of me walking around in public making a fool out of myself. Follow my Twitter to watch me get ratioed once a week by everyone. And follow my Instagram to see me post about nothing important, really. I'll see you all in tomorrow's video. Bye.
Oh boy. With the furry stuff.